introduction for myself before we get into the project. I'm an engineering major and with a concentration in sustainable design, and I'm also minoring in architectural studies. My role in this class has taken on a kind of different traditional student role. I'm sort of like a TA in the class, helping with Revit because I've done numerous projects in the past with it, and floating around between groups for the project and also working with my own group, which is standing here with me. In the past, before I became a senior this year, I did architectural projects under Dr. Wunderlich, which included a 3D Revit model of a brand new fabrication lab that we just got built. I just dedicated this semester. I did a high-tech solar smart house in Revit for a green robotics class with Dr. Wunderlich. My junior year in the fall, and then in my spring, I did a mobile wellness center for truck drivers that was judged last spring, and we won the competition. And I took an internship with the company that came up with the project over the summer. And then various other designs I've done in Fisher architecture classes, small scale drawings. And then for this project, the most recent one that I'm working on, it's for the outbreak of Ebola in Sierra Leone specifically. And my group can show you our design. And it's for a medical facility to help maximize recovery from Ebola and various other diseases that Africans deal with. So, our poster.
My name is Kelly Resnick. This is Jamie Hogarth. He's lost his voice. And then, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Rachel.
So we have followed a floor plan that was given to us and actually drafted in Sierra Leone. And it was originally an amputee village, and now it is going to be converted into a general health center with an Ebola screening clinic outside. And patients that come to this health center will be screened first in the tent outside, and if they have Ebola, they'll be sent to emergency response centers, and if they do not, then they'll be sent into our health center. We have a few different rooms. We've kept the floor plan the same as requested, but we've changed the purposes a slight bit, if you'd like to talk about that, Rachel.
So basically the sterilization room and the observation room are both going to be like a place for doctors to see like what's wrong with the patient and what treatment to give them. Storage, just for all the storage of their supplies and things that they will need. A meeting room is going to be a place to store all the documentation, a place for different officials and medical personnel to meet and discuss like future plan of action. And the PT room is just a place for them to like gain strength with various workout things that are.
And we also thought it was very important to be able to sterilize all of the rooms, because although we'll have a screening clinic outside, just in case a patient would, slip past, we want to be able to wipe down everything, absolutely clean it. So standard construction in Africa is with mud bricks that are usually created near the site, but we decided that we'd want to seal these mud bricks for easier sterilization. And we're doing a concrete floor because of the availability of concrete in Africa. And we're also going to seal that. And in a video that was shown to us by a man who visited, who had lived and worked in Africa for many, many years, they showed chlorine sprayer things that kind of were like a little stick that would go like that, kind of like a power washer, but not as intense. So we wanted sealants on the floors and on the walls so that we could use these sprayers and wipe everything down and make sure that if Ebola did enter this part of the clinic, that it could be sterilized and removed to stop the outbreak further. And not only did we want to focus on sterilization, but we also wanted to focus on the climate of Sierra Leone and also on the high humidity, because there is a lot of tropical rainforest. I believe it's 50% of the country is in tropical rainforest conditions. The rest is savanna, but there actually still is high humidity, surprisingly. So we originally were going to design a Japanese-style roof to allow heat and humidity to escape. And would you like to discuss that?
Revit kind of made it difficult to make a double layer roof with the amount of time and skill that I have with Revit. I'm still not an expert. So we were trying to make almost like that roof there was sort of close to what I wanted. I wanted to make a roof that was angled up from each corner to a little box, or I don't know, like a pigeon house type thing, and then a second roof over it, so that there was a space between each roof, so air would be able to freely come in the building and come right back out. And we would put a netting, it would just be open. If you were in the building, you could see up through, and there would be light coming in. We would put a netting in the opening so that rodents and birds and insects and stuff couldn't get in the building, but air could come through freely as it needed to. So that would keep the circulation in the building better.
We also considered putting thatch over top of the corrugated steel on the roof, not only to help with the cooling process of the building, but also to make it look more pleasing to the eye, especially since many buildings in Sierra Leone do have thatched roofs, so it would fit better in the general area, and it would seem more friendly to those entering the health clinic and give more of a friendly appearance, which is really important. Because we want to make sure that those who are coming to these hospitals aren't afraid to enter. Because so many people in Sierra Leone are afraid to go to health centers and hospitals because they're scary places and they know that some people will die and they don't come back. So we really want to make sure that there's signage that's friendly. We want to make sure that the building looks friendly and doesn't look, sterile and scary. We want to make sure that people are comfortable going there, and that's really important.
That's our basic design.
Questions? No questions?
So what is their electricity? You don't have a lot of windows, at least in the side exterior view here, for lighting. So what do you have available for electricity, or is there none?
Well, we would have electricity. We probably a light in each room.
3 kilowatts, right, we specified. There is for $50,000, we already have a contract, 3 kilowatt photovoltaic array on each.
There were specifications in the contract so that you had to follow, so they would have to be energy efficient.
But it's not much amperage at all.
Probably enough for a light bulb, and that's
Yeah.
about it. We also followed the windows that were given to us on the floor plan that was designed in Africa from the footprint of the old amputee village. So we tried to put wherever there were windows, we wanted windows in the same locations.
If you can see on the floor plan here, I might be able to. Is there a way you can zoom in from these? I'm not sure.
You have to go out of that view, yeah.
Okay, so down here on the floor plan, you can see there's 2 double windows here. This is like the physical therapy working area. And in this conference room, there's 2 single windows, and then there's 2 windows in the back. So these are where all the windows would be. And this room is just a storage room for various medical things that we need to have, paper and files.
You have the square footage on that, can you tell me about how large that is?
Yeah, I think this side was 27 feet total, and this was 25.
And that's including walls, which are
Including walls.
1 foot thick on the outer walls.
How many patients a day will a clinic of this size see?
There's probably gonna be a lot because of the outbreak and stuff. Everyone's gonna wanna come in as soon as they find any signs that it might be Ebola. And I know there's other diseases like malaria and I forget what the other ones are, but, so there's probably gonna be a lot of people coming in through the day thinking they have Ebola, but maybe not, and then come in. So I would say 100 days worth, over 20.
It varies across the country. There's 50 sites, and most of them are left over from, they were amputee villages from the Civil War that was there, and a lot of people. And then the villages were burned down, and so there's actually footprints that were given to us by the clients that, what you see here, and the students have to go with that. So, some of them are near cities, some are very remote, and so they, traffic through is very.
Good question. Is this designed to be net zero for energy usage? Is that part of your design?
We didn't get into the energy use that much, but that would be our
I didn't require that. This is a quick project, got thrown on us, and they only had 3 weeks to do. The main project for the course was design wellness center for the campus. So this is a very important, very critical thing for the world, and it is funded too. Okay, so thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just
go
one
ahead.
quick question. Could you say just a little bit about the proximity of the tent, the triage tent that would be used outside of the
Yeah,
clinic?
we were
In the
given a layout.
specifications, it said, I wish we had the picture up here, but we didn't include it on the picture, on the poster. There was, like almost like a camp type thing with a bunch of different tents on the outskirts, and then our building would kind of be centralized a little bit off to the edge. So the tent would be, what is it, 50 feet at least
I think so,
away
yeah.
from that building. So it won't be easy if we have pathways to it for volunteers to slip by, but usually what happens if the tent doesn't, see if they actually have it or not correctly.
Which is why the sterilization is so important.
So,
Yeah, we should move on, because there's 16. Okay, thank you.